Be still and know that I am God. What does that truly mean? It means to silence the noise of doubt and awaken to the infinite power that lies within you. For the very mind you possess, this consciousness, this awareness, is God. And the moment you accept this, you step into the sacred power to manifest anything instantly. You do not need time. You do not need permission. You need only to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Creation is finished. All states already exist. The moment you imagine a thing and feel its reality, you have entered the state where that thing is true. The world must rearrange itself to reflect your assumption. It has no choice. You may think things take time, but I tell you, time is the servant of imagination. It is not the master. There is no delay in God. There is only delay in belief. The instant you lift your mind to dwell in the end and feel from that end, not think of it, but from it, you collapse the illusion of time. What you call miracle is but the world catching up with your assumption. You may walk through a city of lack, yet if your inner eye sees abundance and your inner man feels rich, the outer world cannot withhold it from you. Do not concern yourself with the how. Do not ask when or by what means. That is the work of the shadow. Yours is the work of light, of faith, of inner certainty. You are told, according to your faith, be it unto you. And faith is nothing more than loyalty to the unseen reality, holding fast to that which the senses deny. Imagination is the redemptive power. It is the Christ in you. And when you awaken to this truth, you no longer seek. You create, not in struggle, but in surrender. Not in begging, but in bold assumption. Look not outside for confirmation, for the outer is but the echo of your inner speech. Change your inner conversations, and the world cannot help but change with them. Say to yourself now, not as a hope, but as a truth, I am that which I seek, and the world will rush to bear witness. So tonight, if you desire love, be love in your imagination. If you seek healing, feel the relief of already being whole. Do not wait, do not beg. Activate your mind, this divine creative power, and rest in the assurance that it is done. You do not need to see the steps. Walk as though the world has already conspired in your favor. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This is not a statement of history, but of spiritual law. The Word is the inner speech, the imaginary act, the first cause of all that appears in the world. What you speak within, what you see in the silence of your mind, is the true origin of every experience you encounter. Imagination is not fantasy. It is the creative power itself. It is the father of your world. Everything that appears in your life, no matter how small or vast, first took root in the garden of imagination. Whether you planted that seed consciously or unconsciously, the fruit of it cannot be denied. Your world is the outpicturing of inner movement. All forms springs forth from the unseen, from the invisible currents of your assumptions, beliefs, and visions held in your mind's eye. This power is not distant. It is not a force outside you. It is your own consciousness, your awareness of being, imagining into form. The tragedy for many is not that they lack power, but that they misuse it through ignorance. They imagine fear and call it caution. They imagine lack and call it realism. They rehearse inner dialogues of rejection, failure, and delay, and then wonder why the outer world echoes those very tones. You are always imagining. You cannot stop it, but you can become aware of what you are imagining and choose to imagine wisely, deliberately, lovingly. To imagine a thing is to give it life. To persist in the imaginal act is to nourish that life. Just as no plant springs forth without seed, water, and light, no event in your life comes without the seed of thought, the nourishment of feeling, and the light of attention. Where attention goes, energy flows, and manifestation follows. Therefore, choose what you dwell upon in the silence of your being. Imagination is not mere daydreaming. It is communal. It is prayer in its highest form. When you imagine, you are speaking directly to the essence of reality, shaping the invisible into the visible. There is no intercessor. There is no delay in heaven. Heaven is within you, and what you imagine there writes itself across the pages of time. If you would change your world, you must first change your imagination of it. Let no one tell you that what you see in imagination is empty. Nothing imagined is unreal. It is simply unseen until the time appointed. When you close your eyes and see yourself as you desire to be, free, joyful, accomplished, in perfect health, you are not playing games. You are performing a sacred act of creation. And if you will persist in that act with conviction and feeling, the world will bow to your vision. The senses may deny it, the facts may contradict it. For the truth is not found in the senses. The truth is what you accept and sustain within, regardless of what the outer world reflects. You do not wait for facts to change before you believe. You believe, and the facts change to match your belief. That is the law. That is the way. The great secret is this: the world responds not to your words, but to your inner vision. You may affirm 1,000 times that you are wealthy, loved, and healthy, but if your inner pictures remain of poverty, loneliness, and illness, those inner images will shape your days. It is not the outer effort, but the inner consent that creates. What are you consenting to in imagination? Imagination, fused with feeling, is the womb of creation. Feeling gives life to the image. It is not enough to see the picture. You must feel its truth. Let your body relax into the experience of it being so. Let your breath align with the rhythm of having. Let your emotions carry the tone of already possessing your desire. This is the key that unlocks the door. For when you feel something to be true, it becomes true in the world of form. When you activate this inner power, you no longer chase outcomes. You no longer struggle to make things happen. You enter a higher order where things happen through you, not by you. You become the vessel of divine expression, and what you hold in mind with feeling flows into form without effort. You imagine a thing, and it appears, not by magic, but by law. Train yourself daily in the art of imagining. Close your eyes and see what you desire to see. Hear what you wish to hear. Walk in the assumption that it is already so, and above all, persist. For the world will not change until you do, but the moment you shift within, the outer must conform. Such is the power entrusted to you, the power to imagine and thereby to create. Desire is to awaken to what you already are. Desire is not a signal of lack. It is the whisper of remembrance. When you long for something, it is because it already exists within you, waiting to be claimed. The mistake of the world is to see desire as a future event, something to be earned or found. But all things exist now. There is no future creation. Creation is finished. You need only to occupy the state of your desire and live from it. Every state exists eternally. The state of wealth, of health, of love, of success, they are all present here and now, like rooms in a great house. You are not becoming anything. You are selecting. Life is not a process of growth, but a movement of assumption. The only transformation required is the change in your concept of self. What you believe yourself to be is the cause of all that you experience. You are told, let the weak say, I am strong. Not I will be strong, but I am. This is the secret of assumption. To assume a thing is to claim it as already so, without evidence, without proof, and without delay. When you say I am, you are announcing your identity, and identity shapes reality. If you wish to change your life, you must first change what you are identifying with. To say I want is to declare separation. But to say I am is to fuse with the thing desired. The one who feels himself to be wealthy will attract wealth, not because he chases it, but because he no longer contradicts it. He lives from the state of already having, and the world, being nothing but a reflection, echoes his new assumption. You are not rewarded for effort. You are rewarded for alignment. There is no power outside of being. No condition can hold you except the one you consent to. If you believe yourself unworthy, life will faithfully show you proof of that belief. If you rise in consciousness and declare, I am worthy, and feel it to be true, then all that comes after will reflect that new state. It is not arrogance to assume. It is faith. It is the courage to believe the unseen. Do not wait for the world to tell you who you are. The world only reflects who you are already assuming yourself to be. The mirror does not create the face, it only reflects it. Likewise, the world does not create your reality, it reflects your inner state. You must assume first, you must feel the reality of your desire before it takes shape. The order is not reversed. There is no outer confirmation before inner conviction. You are told, when ye pray, believe that ye received it, and ye shall have it, not after the prayer, not after the evidence, but while praying. Belief must precede the result. This is the law. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to anchor yourself in the end. You must think from your desire, not of it. To think of something keeps it distant. To think from it makes it real. Begin now. Whatever it is you desire, be it in imagination, walk as if it were true. Speak from it, feel from it, see the world through the eyes of one who already has. You are not fooling yourself. You are reconditioning your mind to accept what is already yours. Every act of assumption is a creative act. It impresses the subconscious mind, and that mind, being impersonal and faithful, brings forth in your world the exact likeness of your inner belief. You must persist. Do not waver when the senses deny your assumption. The senses report only what was assumed yesterday. If you continue to live from the end, the world will eventually yield to your new belief. Do not be double-minded. A man cannot serve two masters. Choose this day whom you will serve, the facts or your faith. The one who endures in his assumption sees it made flesh. There is no distance between you and what you desire. The only gap is your refusal to identify with it. Assume the feeling now. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and feel what it would be like to be the person you wish to be. How would you move? How would you speak? What would your days feel like? This inner movement is the real creation. The outer is only the shadow. Be still and know you are already what you seek. You have no need to strive, only to accept. Acceptance is the bridge from desire to fulfillment. Assume it boldly, faithfully, joyfully, and all things shall be added unto you. There is only now. The present moment is all there ever is, and all you will ever need to manifest your desire. Time, as it is commonly understood, is not a line to be followed, but a structure of thought, a concept used to measure change. In truth, everything that could ever be is already complete and exists now, not in the future. Time only appears necessary because man has not yet learned to feel beyond it. When you say, one day I'll have it, you have pushed your desire into an unreachable horizon. You have placed it outside of the now, where manifestation lives. Creation is finished. Nothing is to be created, only selected and experienced. You do not move through time. Your states of consciousness do. And the state you occupy determines the events you call your future. The future is not coming to you. You are moving toward the version of yourself that already lives the life you seek. What you desire already exists. There is no future moment when it will be created. There is only a moment when you become aware of what has always been true. Your assumption of a new state is your only true movement. That which you dare to assume now will appear to unfold over time, but the truth is, it became yours the moment you accepted it inwardly. The delay is only the outer world catching up to your inner certainty. This is why manifestation can be instant. Not because laws are suspended, but because you have fully assumed the end. when your feeling is complete, when there is no more striving, no more seeking, no more effort to get, you have entered the state where the desire already is. And in that state, manifestation is not a future result, but a present fact. The moment the feeling becomes natural, reality bends to reflect it. You are told, whatsoever things ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. This is not a process of waiting. This is the command to feel it done now. The believing and receiving are simultaneous. There is no lapse between the inner act and the outer effect, except the one your mind accepts. And the degree to which you accept that time must pass is the degree to which time appears necessary. Do not look for signs of change. Do not seek outward proof. Those are the shadows, not the cause. You are the cause, and your cause is consciousness. Your inner acceptance is the only true event that matters. When that is established, the world must follow. The longer you wait for something to happen before you believe, the longer you delay its unfolding. But the moment you inwardly move into the feeling of it being already accomplished, time collapses. Time is the servant of your state. If you dwell in lack, time becomes the carrier of continued delay. If you dwell in fulfillment, time becomes irrelevant. What the world calls miracles are nothing but interruptions of the time-bound logic by one who has dared to assume a higher truth. You are not bound by chronology unless you consent to be. So learn to feel beyond the visible. Close your eyes and feel the scene that would be true if your desire were fulfilled. Do not wait to see it before you feel it. That is the way of the world. You are learning a higher law. Feel it first, and then you will see it. Feel it so vividly, so naturally, that there is no space left for doubt. That inner feeling is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Do not confuse persistence with time. Persistence is not waiting. Persistence is remaining loyal to the end you have assumed. You are not hoping for it to happen. You are dwelling in the fact that it has. This dwelling, this stillness in the feeling, is what brings about instant change. When the feeling is natural, it manifests. The seed does not struggle to grow once planted in fertile soil. It is the same with your assumption. The soil is your subconscious. The seed is your feeling. Plant it once, water it with faith, and leave it alone. Every state you could ever desire to experience exists now. You step into that state the moment you feel its reality. If you persist in it, no matter how long the world seems to take, the result must come. But when your feeling is truly complete, when the assumption becomes second nature, the time gap vanishes. It is done. Learn to see beyond the clock. Do not count days. Count your acceptance. How often do you return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled? How deeply do you abide in it? That is the only measurement worth observing. For as you feel, so shall you experience. Not eventually, but now. The world you see with your eyes, touch with your hands, and experience with your senses is not the cause of anything. It is the result. It is the mirror held up to your inner state of being. All that you encounter in the external world is nothing more than an echo, a shadow, a reflection of your inner conversations, your assumptions, your emotional tones. Life does not happen to you from the outside. It unfolds from within. Every man moves through a world that is himself pushed outward. What you believe, what you feel to be true, what you accept as natural and normal within, these things shape the very fabric of your reality. You may not remember planting the seed, but the fruit reveals the nature of the inner garden. Your conditions, your relationships, your financial state, your health, they all bear witness to what you have imagined yourself to be. There is no outer cause. There is no other. Your environment is not separate from your consciousness. It is an outpicturing of it. And if you would change the outer, you must first and only change the inner. Trying to change the world while keeping your inner state the same is like standing before a mirror and begging the reflection to smile first. It cannot be done. The image only responds. You are told, as within, so without. This is the law. If within you dwell thoughts of fear, you will walk through a fearful world. If within you live in the quiet confidence of being loved, life will reflect love back to you at every turn. You are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are the author of them. The world has no choice but to mirror your dominant state. States are not emotions that come and go. They are postures of consciousness, dwelling places of the soul. You are always in a state, and the state you are in determines the events you attract. Change your state, and you change your world. The transformation is internal, and once it is made, the outer must conform. The law cannot be broken. This is not philosophy, it is law. It operates whether you are aware of it or not. The unaware man blames others, fights conditions, struggles with events, and never understands why his world does not change. The awakened man goes within. He asks, what must I be believing, feeling, assuming to experience this? And upon changing his inner assumptions, he sees the world bend to reflect the new self. You must understand, the outlaw is always telling you who you are being. It is not punishing you. It is not challenging you. It is showing you. Your relationships reveal your concept of self. Your finances reveal your feeling of worth. Your health reveals your beliefs about vitality and life. Nothing is random. Nothing is outside your creative power. Begin to observe your world not as a fixed reality, but as a living reflection. When you experience something unwanted, do not resist it with fear or frustration. Instead, pause and ask, what inner state does this reflect? And then, without struggle, move into a new state. Close your eyes and feel what you wish were true. Feel it as real now. Rest in that state long enough, and the outer will take notice. The world rearranges itself in response to your sustained inner assumption. When you look upon others, you are also seeing a reflection. What you condemn in another is often an unrecognized belief held within. What you admire is likewise a quality within yourself, perhaps unclaimed. You are not meeting people, you are meeting states. Everyone is yourself pushed out, playing roles that your assumptions have written. Change your concept of others, and they change before your eyes. This is the power given to man, not to manipulate the world, but to transform it by transforming self. The world does not need fixing, your concept of self does. And as you rise in consciousness, the world becomes a brighter, more harmonious reflection. It must. For the mirror cannot defy the face. Practice daily the art of self-observation. Become aware of your inner dialogues, the stories you tell yourself, the feelings you most often return to. These are the architects of your experience. Do not try to control the reflection, master the cause. Go within and dwell in the state that implies your desire is already fulfilled, and do so not for a moment, but as a dwelling place. That dwelling becomes your world. No one can live in a state for you. You must choose it. You must occupy it. And when you do, the world outside will faithfully reflect the choice you made within. This is the eternal law. The outer world is the mirror of the inner man. Imagination is not a fanciful escape from reality. It is the very doorway into it. All things that appear in the world first lived in the unseen realm of imagination. Before any structure rose from the earth, before any word was spoken, before any act was made visible, it was first imagined. Nothing comes into being unless it is first conceived in thought and felt as real within. Imagination is not weak or secondary. It is the creative power clothed in man's form. Man's misunderstanding of imagination is the cause of all his limitations. He believes the imagination is something reserved for dreams, for art, for idle play, but not for the shaping of his circumstances. Yet the world he walks through is nothing but imagination made visible, hardened into fact through the persistence of feeling. The clothes he wears, the home he lives in, the job he holds, the relationships he attracts, All are first imagined, then impressed upon the subconscious, and finally expressed as life. The great mistake is believing that imagination is passive. It is not. It is dynamic, creative, obedient to the hand that wields it with purpose. The disciplined imagination is the secret key that unlocks the vault of manifestation. Without direction, imagination follows habit. And if your habitual thoughts are ones of fear, doubt, or unworthiness, your imagination will serve these masters faithfully, clothing them in form and giving them life. But when imagination is taken under conscious control, when it is used deliberately and sustained with feeling, then it becomes the servant of your highest desires. There is no limit to what it can build, no law it cannot transcend, no circumstance it cannot reshape. The outer world is malleable, but only through the firmness of the inner vision. You must learn to live more fully in the unseen. To imagine a thing is to form it. To persist in the imagination of a thing is to give it substance. And to feel it as real is to bind it to you. Imagination alone creates reality. Not effort, not action, not time. These are the effects. The cause is imagination impressed upon the subconscious by sustained belief. When you know this, you stop looking to the world to tell you what is possible and instead look inward to determine what is true. You must learn to imagine with precision, not as a passing wish, but as a controlled inner act. Go into a quiet place, close your eyes, and see not what is, but what you desire to be. Do not imagine as an observer, imagine as a participant. If you desire health, feel the vitality in your limbs. If you desire abundance, feel the ease and freedom of having. Enter into the scene, occupy it fully, and experience it as though it were happening now. Let this act be repeated not with strain but with joy. Let it become your inner home. Dwell in that state morning and night. Make it natural to feel that your wish is already fulfilled. The world may still reflect the old state for a time. Do not be moved. The former things are passing away. Remain faithful to your inner scene. Imagination, when sustained, will outpicture itself. The world has no choice but to conform. You are told to walk by faith, not by sight. Faith is imagination in action. Faith is the unseen claimed as present. When you train the imagination to remain loyal to the vision, even in the face of contradiction, you are mastering creation itself. It is not denial of reality. It is the refusal to accept appearances as final. Appearances are merely the outpicturing of former beliefs. Change the belief, persist in the new image, and the appearance must follow. Most men imagine unconsciously and wonder why their world remains unchanged. Their inner conversations are saturated with complaint, with fear, with comparison. Yet they do not realize that imagination is always creating. Every inner word, every accepted idea, every repeated feeling becomes a seed planted in the soil of consciousness. And what you sow, you surely shall reap. So begin now to imagine deliberately. Create a scene that would be true if your desire were already fulfilled. Enter that scene nightly before sleep. Make it vivid, rich with emotion, and alive with sensory detail. Touch the walls of your imagined room. Hear the voices of those who would celebrate with you. Feel the reality of the unseen. This is not fantasy, it is a spiritual law in motion. You are not subject to the world, you are shaping it from within. And your tool, your divine instrument, is imagination. Disciplined, persistent, and filled with faith. Through it, all things are possible. And through it, your every desire may be made visible. Now you know the secret that has always been yours to claim. Reality begins within. There is no outer force shaping your world apart from your own consciousness. What you think, what you feel, what you assume to be true, these are the building blocks of your experience. You are not a bystander in life, you are its sole creator. You were not born to wish and wait, you were born to imagine and manifest. Your mind, once activated by conscious direction, becomes the very force through which the invisible takes form. The time-bound world is not a prison but a stage set for your inner states to play out. Step outside the illusion of delay and live now in the reality of the fulfilled desire. We have learned that the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the path, that imagination disciplined is the key, that the outer is only ever reflecting the inner. So do not chase conditions, create them. Do not fight the world, revise it within. Persist not in effort, but in assumption. When the inner transformation is complete, the outer world will yield as it must. You are free, free to assume the highest, free to dwell in the unseen reality until it becomes the only truth you know. And when you do, you will find the world mirroring back to you the richness of your inner conviction. Nothing is denied to you except that which you fail to claim as already yours. Go now and imagine boldly, feel deeply, assume faithfully, and let the world reveal what you have dared to accept as true.